Yeah, I mean, I think we had a lot of deflections, played really hard. We're in the gaps. I think there were some things rebounding-wise and some different things we could have improved on throughout the game. But, I think offensively we played with a lot of pace. We had a lot of good actions that resulted in some good assists.
How important is the rebounding piece? I mean, I know it's a big deal every season, but especially with this group and being a little bit undersized.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously Memphis also has a philosophy of sending five guys to the glass every single time. So, that's definitely a challenge, and not every team does that. But I mean, obviously, it's a team effort on the glass, especially us being, I guess, undersized in terms of the guys we're going to be playing against. So we're all going to need to help each other out on the glass and be there for each other and box out and get good position.
What's it been like going against Stevie so far? I know you guys have a little bit of history, but actually being his teammate and being around him every day, what stood out about his game?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. He's definitely, since I played against him last, probably in pre-draft and throughout, different things. And, before that, he's improved his game a lot. He's definitely a lot more crafty and making some more plays than he used to. But obviously, he's such a dynamic roller when he rolls to the rim. And, obviously as an offensive rebounder, it's tough like that to keep a guy like him off the glass. And I think that's something that's been really good to help, prepare me for the rest of the season is going against someone like that in practice, having to keep him off the glass and do the best I can.
What should you guys as a center room feeling overlooked or underrated or whatever it might be, just given the experience or how like outsiders are looking at you guys?
Yeah, I feel like we feel motivated, but also just I think a lot of us are just really excited and optimistic for this opportunity. For all of us have been kind of waiting and been really patient and played behind some really good centers in the past and. Had some opportunity at different points, but this is probably for all of us the biggest opportunity we've ever had. So it's something that we've all been working for and staying down for. So it's time to go out there and we all have that same motivation to go show that we deserve it.
Is that something you guys talk about at all? Overlooked, whatever that may be?
I think not necessarily. I think it's a mindset that we approach every single day with, just the way that we work and the way that we play. I mean, all three of us are guys that pride ourselves on playing harder than the opponents, and I think a little bit of that comes from being overlooked, and that's kind of been the story of my whole career, and same with some of those guys. So, yeah, I think it's just become who we are.
Luka, you talked about your screening a little bit after the last game. What's it been like developing the chemistry and the timing with some of the ball handlers on this team to really make that as impactful as it can be?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're all different. They all come off at different paces and like to get into different things. So just as a big man, you're kind of reading that and making sure you put yourselves in good position. Don't get screening fouls or whatever it is. So it's a little bit different for each guy, and you just kind of got to know that. And that's something that also will be learned even better over time. It's hasn't been that long, but obviously I've been in Boston since August, so I've been working with him for a while. And Anthony's been back, Peyton, all those guys been back most of the time. So I've gotten a lot better at it, and throughout the course of the year, we improve every single day.
What's the process of developing the off-court relationships, considering there are so many new people trying to connect and kind of build chemistry and trust? Have you guys been doing team dinners or team bondings? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I think Joe has it's very intentional for him to make sure that we have those kind of situations so we can bond. I think it really helps when you have a group of great guys. I mean, these guys are all really welcoming and nice people, and it's different. Different place in the league. Some guys aren't as welcoming or won't be as good at kind of welcoming you into the culture and the team. But here it's been awesome. All these guys are really cool. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of team dinner, team events, things like that kind of make sure that we kind of integrate and get closer.
Is there a social convener in the team? Is there one guy that's always we need to all get together? Or is it kind of everybody?
I don't know. I mean, I think Jaylen Brown has done a good job of he hosted kind of a team dinner before the season started. I mean, different guys have stepped up and invited guys to do different things. Getting dinner on the road, whatever it is. So it's obviously early, but it seems like there's multiple guys to go to for that.
Okay, amazing career at Iowa, amazing. But then someone came along after you on the women's side and had a pretty damn amazing career. So Iowa basketball hierarchy, where do you stand? How much do you get asked about? What's that like?
I feel like Caitlin's undisputed at the top of that, but I feel like I'm up there as well, especially on the men's side. It's just a blessing to have had the opportunity to play there and play with so many amazing guys and had great teammates and great teams. But it was just I was there with Caitlin 1 year. She was averaging 27 as a freshman. It took me a little while to get to that point. About my junior year.
As a freshman, like what was your initial impact when you saw her, like reaction when you saw her as a freshman?
Yeah, I mean, it was, when everyone started to talk about her around that NCAA tournament, for us guys that have been there watching her, like we weren't surprised at all. We saw that as a freshman. She came in with that mentality, that confidence, that ability to come up and pull it from 40, and you could see that in the gym and practice and how she approached every single day. She was a worker, and it's no surprise she's had the success that she has, and she just got a really good head on her shoulders, but yeah, no, she was, as soon as she stepped on campus, she was her for sure.
You were able to get a 3 off in that first game. What kind of led to that defensively, the way they were guarding you, whatever that was?
Yeah, I mean, I think, PJ Hall for Memphis was in a hedge, so it makes it really hard to pop against a hedge. So I think, to create more advantages for guys, it was more about rolling. And, I'm a guy who always kind of reads what the defense is giving me. I popped a little bit more against Lovering, and, he was kind of closing out. I felt like I had an advantage on him driving to the basket, got a couple fouls in that way. But, I think it's, for me, just the way I see my game is, I take what the defense gives me and see what happens every single game. And, there'll be games where it's going to be more heavy on the pops and more games where it's, rolling and trying to get offensive rebounds. So I like to think that I can adapt to whatever the game presents.
Thanks, Luka. Thank you, man.